Welcome back, and this is Newsfile. It's your most authoritative news analysis platform, and here on Newsfile we put Ghana first, and here is SAMSON'S Take. A point of corruption. Let MPs stay in the chamber. Yes, let them stay in the chamber, not in boardrooms and not as ministers. The sanctuary of our democracy, Parliament, is facing a deepening crisis of presence, and it's a self-inflicted wound. The latest findings on MP absenteeism are not just a depressing statistic. They are a direct measure of our legislators' disregard for their primary mandates. And like a broken record, the Speaker, like his predecessors, is left to lament this indiscipline. The Speaker's threat that they will lose their seats is sadly an empty cannon. The recent Supreme Court decision on ejecting an absentee MP has effectively neutered his authority to declare seats vacant. The real problem, starkly identified by the Speaker and corroborated by the Majority Leader, is the destruction economy we have created for our MPs. Their chronic absence is not due to sudden illness. It is due to their moonlighting on public sector boards. They did this, the two of them spoke about this in response to a concern I raised about the situation at the Speaker's Editors Forum on Tuesday. They, especially the Majority Leader, strongly supported my point. Why are MPs who are constitutionally mandated to oversee public entities simultaneously sitting on boards, sometimes even as chairpersons? This is not a policy gray area. It is a blatant conflict of interests. How can an MP, tasked with scrutinizing the performance, budget, and operational efficiency of a public corporation, perform that oversight faithfully when they sat in the boardroom that approved the very policies they are meant to investigate? The law, integrity, and common sense are all screaming foul. Yet, presidents, past and present, persist in this bad practice, turning Parliament into a waiting room for board appointments. The Majority Leader, however, seemed to suggest that civil society only finds its voice on this matter when the NDC is in power. Really? This is simply inaccurate and convenient amnesia. The CDD Ghana and others, including myself, have consistently deprecated this practice across administrations. We spoke out when President Akufo-Addo made these appointments, just as we must speak out now. The John Mahama administration that is vigorously on a, quote, reset agenda, end quote, cannot afford to justify doing wrong things by pointing to the previous regime's mistakes. Leadership is about acting differently when you know better. And the time for that reset is now. May the touted reset agenda not turn out to be the usual empty sloganeering that we are used to. Speaker Alban Bagwin seemed to suggest that this is a means to earn extra income, to make the job more attractive to professionals. This is such a weak defense. If MPs do not earn a living wage, which they do, the answer is salary reform and not the corruption of our separation of powers. But the solution to the grander problem is twofold. Stop appointing MPs onto boards right now. The president needs no legislation to stop this corrosive practice. It is an executive decision, and a matter of political will. He must end it immediately. Secondly, we must end the minister MP compulsion. Both the Speaker and the Majority Leader agreed on the urgent need to amend the Constitution to remove the compulsion on the President to appoint up to 50% of the ministers or his ministers from among MPs. There's been widespread public support for a strict separation of powers, where an MP's primary job is in the legislature, not the executive. That must finally be heeded. If the Professor H. Kwesi Prempeh Committee and this government fail to recommend and effect this crucial constitutional change, they will have failed the people's long-standing demand for a modern and accountable democracy. There would be a huge deficit in the legacy John Mahama seeks in his second chance, second term. We must trade the absurdity of absence for the integrity of presence. Let the MP stay in the chamber and hold the executive to account, not sit with them in the boardroom and applaud bad policy. And that is my take. We'll be right back to engage my guests.